So yesterday we talked about factoring trinomials. We did bottoms up, where you multiply the first and the last. That gives you your M. The middle one's your A. And then you do the combination. Divide by your leader. Bottoms up. Is this sounding familiar? Okay. So that is a lot of steps, as you can hear when I say it out loud. It's like, and this, and then you do this, and then do this, and this, and this. So we're going to spend another day not learning anything new, just practicing more notes on bottoms up, okay? So this should pick up like right where yesterday left off. We're starting over with new letters, though. This is A. So we have 18x squared minus 9x plus 1. All right, so I need to find my M and my A. What's my M? 18. You do 18 times 1. And then your A is your middle number. So negative 9. Don't worry about any variables. We'll sort those out when we need to, okay? Does anyone know the magic combination? They need to be two negatives because they add to a negative but multiply to a positive. Negative 6 and negative 3. So, my answer will look like what?
X minus 6.
Good.
X 3.
Very good. Am I done? Box it in?
No.
No. When the leader is a number that's not 1, you got to divide by it.
It's like 3 and 6. No, wait. It's like 1 half.
Okay. What'd you guys decide on the first one?
1 half.
1 over 3. Good. And in the back we have 1 over 6. Good. And then what do I do? Move the bottom up. So I have 3x minus 1, 6x minus 1. Now, if you want, you can just real quick, that will give us 18x squared minus 3x minus 6x, ding, ding, ding. And then a negative 1 and a negative 1 would give us that plus 1. So you can do that double distribute real quick in your head just to make sure, like, is this even close? Does it make sense? I always do it. Even now, after doing this for 15 years, I still do that every time. 15? Probably longer than that. I'm old. All right, any questions? All right, here is B. All right, what is my M? Negative 36. What's my A?
4.
Positive 4. So I need one of each sign. The bigger one is positive. Now, I'm sorry, I ruined the surprise with that. I am going to list the factors of 36. I'm going to make the bigger ones positive, okay? So I have 1 and 36. I have 2 and 18. I have 3 and 12. I have 4 and 9. 5 doesn't go into it. 6 goes into it 6 times. One of the factors in each needs to be negative. We already talked about how it's going to be the smaller one because I need the bigger one to be positive. So, when I add these two numbers, what do I get? 35. When I add these two numbers, what do I get? 16. When I add these two numbers, what do I get? 9. When I add these two numbers, 5. When I add these two numbers, 0. Do any of those combinations give me 4? No. So when you're doing like prime factorization of a number, and the number only has the factors of 1 in itself, we call it a prime number. This is actually a prime trinomial because you cannot rewrite it as a multiplication problem because none of the numbers will give us this combination. So your answer is prime. Sorry, I totally like ruined the surprise there. I thought the signs were gonna pop up in the box, but sorry. My bad. Questions on why this one's different? Yes, question? No. Okay. Here is C. Okay. Anyone having any thoughts or feelings? Yes, you can simplify with the GCF first. I've said it many times. If there's a GCF, you have to do it first. Bottoms up does not work if there's a common factor in there. So the GCF is 5. Divide everything by 5. Don't forget to write your 5 in front of your parentheses. Whoa, sorry, I forgot that. I was waiting for this to pop up. I know. All right, so this is what your trinomial looks like, right? That's the trinomial that we need to factor. You can see I've already done this part. The M, remember when you're doing a trinomial and you already have a GCF, don't include the 5 in any of this work, okay? We're still just doing the number that's in front of the x squared, the coefficient of the x squared, and the constant on the end. So that's how we get the 6. The add is 5. Again, surprise ruined. It's going to be x plus 3. It's going to be x plus 2. Now, when you go to do the bottoms up step, you're still just looking at what was with the x squared in the parentheses. Don't go dividing by 5. You're going to end up with something that doesn't make any sense at all, okay?
Oh, okay, never mind.
You know what I mean? This is what we're dividing both numbers by. Do I even need to do it? No. This would be a really good one to double distribute. So you're going to have an x squared and then a plus 2x plus 3x plus 5. Or sorry, plus 6. And then think all those are going to get multiplied by this 5 and you would end up with where you started. Should I write that out real quick? No, okay. All right, are we good? All right, number 5. 5. Number D. I'm sorry. My brain is somewhere else. I'm sorry. I am half asleep over here. Letter D. That's all I got. I don't know. Okay, what are we going to do?
Do 2 times 20. Wait, never mind. Wait.
So,
Can you?
Is there a GCF?
there is not a GCF. I can tell right away because 2 is an even number and the other 2 are odd. So, like, nothing else is going to go into 2 and 2 doesn't go into the other one. So, okay. So, what's my M? Negative 54, and then my A is at negative 15. All right. What is it? They can't both be negative because then that would give us a positive. So how can we make, so we got 1 and 54. 2 and 27, 3 and
Wait, it's 54. I don't know what it is.
18.
Yeah. Oh, that one's big.
4 doesn't go into it. 5 doesn't go into it. 6 goes into it 9 times. 7 doesn't go into it. 8 goes into it. And we already have the factor of 9. So this is the whole list.
Negative 18.
The bigger one is going to be negative. So pop a little negative. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, these two would add to negative 53. These two would add to negative 25. Here's the winner, right? Ding, ding, ding. So I have A.
A minus 18.
Minus 18, sure.
A plus.
Okay, now,
Are we done? No, you gotta.
no, hold on. I got a couple things that aren't going to work out. If I look at my variables, the A is going to be fine, but
I need a B.
yeah, what am I doing with this B?
Putting it in front of the 18.
In front of the 18? Behind the 18. I did know what you mean. I was just being okay, so that's the first thing we needed to take care of. We need that B in there too. Now we have to do the bottoms up step. So divide everything. Not really everything. You're dividing those numbers. Just leave the B parts alone. Okay, we're just dividing the 18 and the 3 basically. So A minus 9B. What happens in the back? 2A plus 3B.
Is this what it says?
Yes.
Yeah. This one, this challenging probably won't be on the quiz tomorrow. I think it's just like a couple of the easier ones.
I would have a quiz tomorrow.
You have a quiz tomorrow. It's mostly day 1 through 3 with a little bit of trinomials. Quizzes are shorter, less material, half the points. 50 points. Tests are a whole chapter. They happen less often, and they're 100 points. Tests are just bigger. All around bigger.
When we were younger, TV shows were like popular.
There is no GCF, so we can do the MA. M is 30, as you said. A is negative 17. If you want to multiply to be a positive, the signs need to be the same, and in this case, they're both going to be negative. All right, now what?
Oh. Let's list all the factors of 30.
Okay, we can do that.
Wait,
It's negative 2 and negative 15.
It's negative 2 and negative 15. I was hoping someone would just say it. A lot of these, this is how I do them in my own head. Sometimes they just pop up, magically appear, and then I just go with it. Sometimes I have to make a list. If you have to make a list, make a list. If it's in your head already, don't. I don't really care, okay? Now, negative 15, negative 2 is our winner.
So why is 15?
So y minus 15, y minus 2.
Now we got to divide by 5.
It does not matter. The only thing that matters is the signs. All right, what should I do? Divide by 5. Divide by 5. So this is going to be y minus 3. And then, hold on, 3y. 5y minus 2. Good. Once again, a quick check. We would get 5y squared minus 2y minus 15y. Ding, ding, ding. In the back, we get a positive 6. It is 11:10. Yeah, you guys are on top of it. There is a GCF here. It is 3. So you're going to divide everything by 3. That is going to give me 3 times 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. What's my m?
-4.
What's my A?
Hey guys, it's 2. It's 4 and 3. 4 and 1. I said
It's
There you go.
There you go.
yeah, okay. This is one that I like what just happened out loud. That was actually perfect. It's like things pop in your head and you can very quickly be like, wait, that's not what I was thinking. So this is one where I might list them. So you only have a couple options, 1 and 4, 2 and 2. I need the bigger one to be positive, but I do need a negative in there because it needs to multiply to a negative, and then you can really quickly check, okay? Now, what am I dividing by, 2 or 3? 2, because it's the one that's in the parentheses.
Also, it would be 3 times
3 times
2x minus 1.
2x minus 1, x plus 2. Good.
Y'all good? Wait.
I am good. Thank you. Questions on F? Ay. Ay.
Negative 2x squared.
Wow. Okay. Yes. You are going to divide by negative 2x squared. I don't want to mess with a negative leader, okay? If this guy's negative, get it out of there, okay? I don't even want to go there, okay? So pull it out front. Now, they all have x's. They actually all have 2 x's, so x squared. They all have a negative 2 in the coefficient. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 2x squared. Now, just a little side note. Let's say this one was a plus, but I still had a negative as a leader. You would still want to divide the negative out, okay? You would just end up with a negative in parentheses. Okay, so my next step looks like this. Negative 2x squared, and then in parentheses, x to the second plus 6x plus 9. Good. Now, my leader inside the parentheses is a 1. So my multiply number is just 9. My add number is 6.
Say something with 3.
So the only ways to make a 9 are these, and we're only dealing with positives. So 3 and 3. So negative 2x squared, and then I'll have x plus 3, and I'll have x plus 3. Divide by your leader, that's just a 1 though, so I'm not even going to write it out, okay? Now, this is the answer. Does anyone feel like they could kick this up a notch?
Put your hand up.
X plus 2 squared.
Wow.
You could write the answer like that if you wanted to be fancy, but you got to do this.
I'm lazy. I'm in.
Once I get to that point, I'm cool.
All right, are we good? Both of these answers are absolutely acceptable. Questions?
What was that?
All right, we got one more to get through.
Oh, you're right yesterday.
All right, so here is H. Any questions? Any questions on the summary? Yes, today we learned bottoms up.